My name is Lauren. I'm 35, and I've been married to my husband Michael for over 10 years. We live in a modest home, the kind where family gatherings feel crowded but warm. Michael's younger brother, Ryan, has always been a part of our lives. At 21, he's full of energy and charm, and he recently started staying with us while finishing his studies. At first, having him around was no big deal. He was family, after all. But what I didn't realize was how sharing a house with him would stir emotions I wasn't prepared for. It all started on an ordinary afternoon. I had just come home from work, tired and ready to change into something more comfortable. Michael wasn't home yet, and I thought I had the house to myself. I slipped into my bedroom, closed the door halfway, and began changing. I was standing there in my half-dressed state when the door suddenly swung open. "Lauren, oh God, I'm sorry." Ryan's voice came in a rush as his eyes widened in shock. He froze for half a second before quickly turning away, shutting the door behind him. My heart raced, my cheeks burning. I was embarrassed, but also strangely unsettled. It wasn't just that he had seen me in that vulnerable state. It was the look in his eyes before he turned away. For a split second, his expression wasn't just shock. It was something else, something heavier, something that sent an unexpected shiver down my spine. I told myself it was nothing, that he was just surprised. That later that evening, when we crossed paths in the kitchen, he could barely look at me. His awkward silence only made me more aware of the moment we'd shared. Days passed, but the memory stuck with me. Every time Ryan was around, I felt hyper aware of his presence, the sound of his laugh, the way his eyes lingered when he thought I wasn't watching, the way he seemed both guilty and curious at the same time. And deep down, I hated to admit it, but I felt a flicker of curiosity too. The tension between us grew quietly, like a fire smoldering under the surface. Michael remained oblivious, caught up in work, leaving me and Ryan alone more often than he realized. We never spoke about the incident, but it hovered in the air every time we were near each other. Then came the evening that changed everything. Michael was called away to handle an emergency at work, leaving just Ryan and me at home. I tried to distract myself with a movie in the living room, but my thoughts kept drifting. When Ryan walked in and sat down beside me, the air shifted immediately. He hesitated before speaking. "About the other day. When I walked in on you, I can't stop thinking about it. I know it's wrong, and I'm sorry, but..." I cut him off quickly, my voice sharper than I intended. "Ryan, we can't talk about that. It was an accident. Let's just forget it happened." But forgetting wasn't so simple. His eyes searched mine, full of emotions I couldn't name: guilt, desire, maybe even admiration. The silence stretched, heavy and electric. I looked away, but my pulse betrayed me, beating faster than it should. We sat there in the dim light, neither of us moving, the movie playing forgotten in the background. Our shoulders brushed ever so slightly, and it felt like the room itself held its breath. "I don't want to cause any trouble," he whispered finally, his voice low and raw. "But I've never felt this way before. Not about anyone I wasn't supposed to." Those words hit me like a wave. Part of me wanted to end it, to walk away, to protect the life I had with Michael. But another part, the lonely, neglected part of me that had been yearning for attention, couldn't ignore the truth. I did feel something, and admitting that, even silently to myself, was the most dangerous step of all. That night, nothing physical happened, but something emotional did. An invisible line was crossed. A secret connection formed between us, one that neither of us could undo. And in some ways, that was even more dangerous than an outright affair. After that, things became complicated. Ryan and I acted normal around Michael, but when it was just the two of us, every word, every glance carried double meaning. It was like living in two realities, one where I was the faithful wife, and one where I was teetering on the edge of something forbidden. Looking back, I realize how fragile loyalty can be. Sometimes it's not the actions, but the thoughts, the emotions, the temptations we let take root that cause the most damage. Because once you let that spark in, it can burn everything down. I don't know what will happen next. I don't know if I'll find the strength to resist completely, or if one day temptation will win. All I know is that the day Ryan walked into my room by mistake, my life changed in a way I can never take back. And that's the truth about infidelity. It doesn't always begin with a choice. Sometimes it begins with an accident, a glance, or a door that opens at just the wrong moment.